Hey there, booktubers and YouTubers and my little tarot tots, my little absolute favorite people in the whole wide world. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about my book collection that I recently increased, So I wanted to tell you guys about the books that I've got. I went to the library book sale about a week ago, might have been maybe 2 weeks, but I believe it was a week ago, on a Saturday before work, and I got a whole bunch of books, and they're really great, and I just wanted to talk to you about them, and also to talk to you about some of the books that I have already, and some that I'm reading, and then one of the ones that I'm reading from the library. So, let's chat. So, the first book, the first few books are pieces of book series. The first one I have is Witch Season 2 by Jeff Mariotte, or Mariotte. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. If I butcher names, I'm really sorry, but that's gonna happen a whole lot. You know how names are. Everybody has such a weird name, like even mine, Vivian Wormwood. People don't know how to say Vivian sometimes. Sometimes they say Vivian or Vivian, which, it's okay because I'm not really offended, but Vivian was the name of a character in a show that I really, really love. And if you get the reference, more power to you. So anyway, Witch Season 2 is a book about obviously witches with amazing powers and how they're going to settle a witch war. And I don't know what the other two books are called, or if there are other two books, but this one is called Winter and Spring, so I'm assuming that there's a fall and summer book that has to do with this as well. I'm really excited about this book. I don't know if you guys know what you should, if this is your introduction to me. I am pagan and I am a tarot reader. So I read tarot professionally in my time, and whenever I have time to do it, I like to make sure that everybody gets a good reading, and I'm very honest with what I say. Sometimes it's, obviously going to be blunt, but you can't always get a nice, kind reading, especially if you're reading about something that's like super dramatic. Anyway, let's continue on. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry. So the next book that I have is by Leanna Renee Herber, or Herber, and it's called Darker Still, and it is called A Novel of Magic Most Foul. So I'm assuming that this one is by a witch, or about a witch as well. There's a lot of talk on the back, about on the cover, the sleeve or what have you, about how it's a gothic novel and it's dark and spooky, and that's personally my kind of read, because as you know, I am goth and I am pagan and I just love magic and fantasy, and I can tell you more about that in a little bit. Anyway, something else that was spotted on the cover is it's Katie Cross, the author of The Girl in the Steel Corset, actually wrote their review on it and said, spooky, tense, and wonderfully romantic. So I really like romance novels. They're kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I can sit there and bawl over a book like crazy. I just get so excited, and when the romance is in the books, oh, I just get so excited. And I think they used to say, oh, you're giving me the vapors, and I get that way. I think they're absolutely cute, and there's something that everybody should enjoy. Anyway, so the next book is a piece called The Goddess Test Collection, and it's by Amy Carter, and this one's called The Goddess Legacy. And something that I thought was very neat about this book, besides like the way the art is on it, but it has in it a list of the Greek gods and goddesses and who they are in the book, because this book is the third in the series. Actually, it's the fourth. And the first one in order is the goddess Test. The second one is an ebook, which I'm not sure how I'm going to do because I'm not really fond of ebooks. I will read them, but it's like I'm reading Wuthering Heights as a ebook right now, but it's not something I'm paying attention to too well. I just can't do it. But the second one is called The Goddess Hunt, and that one's the ebook. The third book is called Goddess Interrupted, and then you have this book, which is The Goddess Legacy, and then there's going to be another one called The Goddess Inheritance, and you can read about that in this one. But like I said, Amy Carter, if you can see, The Goddess Legacy, and that looks like it's going to be a good book too. My fourth book is by Richie Tankersley Cusick, the author of the Unseen series, and this one is called Spirit Walk, and it has two books in it. So it has Walk of the Spirits and Shadow Mirror, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with the Unseen series, which there are two of those, and in those two books are two books as this one has. The first is The Unseen, and then it has in it, It Begins and Rest in Peace. And then the second one is The Unseen 2, and that one has Blood Brothers and Sin and Salvation in it. And it looks really good. I really like books about ghosts and spirits, because a lot of the time they have a lot of cute romance in them too. Like I said, it's a real guilty pleasure. Gotta love it. But I would like to read all of those. So with all of the books that I have currently, I'm going to be ordering all of the books that are parts of those series, like The Goddess Legacy and Darker Still and Witch Season 2. Anyway, so that's just something that I really want to do, is order all those books and get them together so that I can have a decent collection to share with you guys. And I will eventually be changing the backdrop that I've got going on here. And I'll be doing it in a different room, hopefully with better lighting and such like that. But let's get back to the books. The next series of books that I have, I love this author. I don't know how to pronounce her name either. Her name is Meg Cabot, and I have 2 of the 3 books in the Airhead series. So the second one in the series is going to be Being Nikki, which I'm assuming is the main character of the book. She's got a little poodle in the bottom. I love poodles. They're so cute. Animals are my favorite. And then the third book is Runaway. And the really cool thing about this author, Meg Cabot, she has done several books and movies. She actually was the one who wrote the Princess Diaries series. And then when I was a kid, a long time ago, I read the Mediator series. And the reason that was special to me was because when I was a kid, I was the very first library aide. My school had tons of office aides, and they didn't have anywhere to put me because I had extra hours and I couldn't do anything else. So I asked them, I said, would you be okay if I worked in the library shelving books? And, you know, that gave me a chance to read as many books as I wanted, but I also got to play on the computer too, which was nice. But they agreed, and I became the school's first library aide. Okay, so the next book that I have in the series is going to be a Meg Cabot book as well. This one is Avalon High, and it's the first series of the book, or the first in the series, this particular series. It's about King Arthur, who has been reincarnated. There's a ton of different characters in it. Oh, my sleeve's coming off. I'm not sure. I've never read it, but it is a Meg Cabot book as well. Like I said, she's done tons of books, you know, like The Princess Diaries, The Mediator, 1-800 Where Are You? And those are pretty cool books to read. So I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to read it for years, and I finally have this copy of it. I'm just sad that it's a hardback, because hardbacks are so heavy on my shelf that my shelves have collapsed. So that's why I'm kind of out here jamming, showing you guys my books. The next book that I have is, these are the ones that I'm collecting right now. This is Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins, and I'm super excited about this one because I saw it on another person's YouTube or BookTube channel, and they were talking about how it was about a girl who is a Southern belle who becomes a paladin to save their friends and everybody in the world, of course. And it's really cute, and I like the little quote on the bottom of the book that it says, "A lady never starts a fight, but she'll finish it." So that's super exciting, because when I was a kid, my favorite movie was Aristocats, and I'm pretty sure my favorite movie is probably still Aristocats. But I always loved when Marie was like, "Girls don't start fights, they'll finish it." So I thought that was really cute that it was part of that book too. The next book that I'm collecting is this one. It is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. This was suggested to me by another booktuber, Reads Readers, and he is very important to me because he is a friend of mine in real life. And he's super nice, and he absolutely loves reading. He reads so much, and what he does on BookTube is absolutely amazing. So I'll link to him in the description for you guys to check him out. I actually started reading books that he suggested during his Fall into Reading-a-thon. And they were having, it was him at Reads Readers and Completely Melanie, and they were doing a Fall into Reading event where you started by reading the Graveyard Book and I think 4 or 5 other books. And one of the books that I got to read, which was the main book, was Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book, which is based off of the story of Jungle Book. And I absolutely fell in love with his work from that, but that was his literary works and not just his movies that I've seen. The next book that I have for you, and the last one that I'm going to talk about, is this. Is Bonefire of the Vanities, a Sarah Booth Delaney mystery by Carolyn Haynes. And the reason I'm telling you about this book is because I'm reading it right now, and I have a tendency to read a lot of books at once. I am this much through the book. I have a little bookmark as a picture of my boyfriend. And then this is how much I have left of it. But this book is interesting because me and my mother decided to have our own little book club and read books together. And so she picked out some books, and this was one of the ones that she picked out, but I found in the regular size reading book because she has to read large print. So I have the regular print, and I'd like to find the rest of the series because it is so interesting and so good. It's about a woman who is a detective with her, and her name is Sarah Booth, and she is a detective with her friend Tinky. They are constantly getting themselves into all kinds of shenanigans. So, you know, it's very interesting. This book, I believe, I don't know if it says it in here. Yes, actually it does. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the 12th book in the series of the Sarah Booth Delaney mysteries, and it is a mystery novel. It has some romance in it, but the thing I like about it most is it's about a psychic, which is funny to me because, you know, I am a tarot reader, a professional tarot reader, and I love reading about other people like that. But the thing is, they're trying to find who murdered this one lady's daughter. And the psychic is trying to bring forth the daughter to have the daughter tell who murdered her. And it's very interesting, and as the story goes along, there's more trouble that happens. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. I would like to do a reading of that book, like to talk about what exactly happens in the book, and I'll do that like a spoiler, full spoiler reading of that in another video. But for now, I'm going to leave you be, and you guys have a wonderful day, evening, what have you. Love life. Thank you for coming to my first episode of my BookTube series. So hopefully I'll have more of that done. I plan on reading some for tarot readings, and I also want to read some books for tarot, so you know what are good books for reading your tarot. I would say reading is fundamental, which it is, but my dear friend Readers already says that. So I'm just going to leave you to your devices, and hopefully you'll pick up one or two of the books that I've got here, and maybe you can tell me what you think of them, and I would absolutely love that. So, my little tarot tots, have a great day. Stay spooky.